Welsh Rally, and the commentator is Steve Ryder.
Cardiff Arms Park alongside Cardiff Castle, the great landmarks at the starting point of the Welsh International, providing a reminder of the heroics that Wales expected from the local favourite David Llewellyn, who won the last round, the Circuit of Ireland, and now led the championship in his MG Metro 6R4.
Since the win on the circuit, what kind of a celebrity have you become in this part of the world?
Well, I think I've got about 300 fates to open and church bazaars and all sorts of things. Obviously, you know, everybody in Wales is great and supporting me, and I've been told that if I don't win this rally, I'm not allowed back into Wales. So,
does this increase the pressure though as you come?
Yeah, it does a little. Obviously, you know, I'd love to win the event anyway, and the approach for every rally is the same. You know, you're there to win it, so I've got to be careful, really, not to overdo it. And to try and control myself and keep the car on the road and get a good result.
Right. Hanu let you off rather lightly on the circuit. Would you regard Hanu as the main opposition?
Yes, Hanu and Stig, of course. They're both ex-world champion, both very, very experienced, and I'm sure that Hanu is out to get his own back. I think he's won the Welsh several times, and he'll be there to prove his point.
It's not only Mikola who's dominated the event, but the Quattros. 4 wins in 4 years. This is Valdegaard in 82. Stig Blomqvist, winner for Audi in 83. He was returning with Ford in 1986. And Hanu Mikola, winner of the Welsh in an Escort in 78 and 79, a winner again with Audi in 1984. The former world champion, no lover of the tarmac, but a master in the forests. Then last year, 4 out of 4 for the Quattros, Britain's Malcolm Wilson at the wheel.
5.
The news, just the day before the start of the death of Henry Toivonen in the Corsica rally, cast an air of gloom over this year's Welsh. Mikola had been close to Toivonen all his life and was deeply affected by the tragedy as he set off. Stig Blomqvist in the Ford RS200, one of the powerful Group B cars which would come under renewed scrutiny after events in both Corsica and Portugal. But lifting the mood, Llewellyn celebrating his 27th birthday as the cars left Cardiff. Ahead of them, a 2-day sprint compared to the marathon of the Circuit of Ireland, but a very testing one, over 278 miles of tarmac and forest. The event began on the notorious Epind Ranges, high-speed stages with countless crests and blind brows that put the emphasis on local knowledge and a combination of caution and courage. Mikola and Blomqvist, comparative strangers to Epind in recent years, started with caution as the main priority. Llewellyn claims that he dislikes Epind as much as anyone, but he was immediately faster than the Metro of Jimmy McRae and significantly faster than Hanu Mikola and Stig Blomqvist. Russell Brooks in the rear-wheel drive Manta was struggling once again to keep in touch with his more powerful rivals. Michael Sundstrom, yet to finish in this year's championship, was definitely taking things easy in the Peugeot. And also overdue for a good result, Mark Lovell in the other Ford RS200. Spectacular in the Nissan, Britain's top woman driver, Louise Aitken-Walker. David Llewellyn, meantime, was doing more than enough to keep the demanding Welsh supporters happy, leaving a couple of former world champions trailing in his wake. Hanu Mikola was happy for a brief respite from the Epind tarmac as the rally tackled its first forest stage. Stig Blomqvist, in his first British rally since the 1983 RAC, was also struggling to match the times of Llewellyn. Michael Sundström, remember, crashed out of the first round of the championship within sight of victory. Mechanical failure prevented a finish in Ireland, so he's determined to go the whole way this time. Trying hard, but with very little reward, Russell Brooks in the two-wheel drive Manta, now losing more time on the loose surface. The first big problem hit Lovell in the RS200. A pipe failure puts the turbo out of action, and Lovell, desperate for a result, is limping. Back on the Epping tarmac, David Llewellyn continues to fly. He'd been fastest on the first 4 stages to take the early lead from Jimmy McRae, Mikkola and Blomqvist. Mikkola's Audi, spitting flame as the 3-times winner of the Welsh International, responds to the challenge. And if you want proof of his commitment at this point, just look at the object swinging from the driver's door. Mikkola has taken the timekeeper's clock with him in his eagerness to fire off the start line. Blomqvist, his times slowly improving, was hampered slightly by a gearbox problem at this point, but that was nothing compared to Mark Lovell's trouble in the other Ford. Michael Sundström still in contention and still in the rally, and that's all the Peugeot bosses were asking of him at this stage. Russell Brooks, happy to be on the tarmac again. He was back among the faster times, but a long way off the overall lead. Lovell stutters along, a frustrating start for the national champion, who'd been teamed with a new co-driver in an attempt to inspire a better result. The Group A battle predictably led early on by Pentti Riikola in the Astra GTE. But Pentti would disappear from the fray after an accident involving a spectator's car. Challenger Andrew Wood also was destined to go out after rolling his Astra. Back in the forest, the powerful, spectacular Group B cars, so threatened in the current troubled climate of the sport, really show their paces. Despite all that caution, this is a last glimpse of the Peugeot of Michael Sundström, shortly to retire with a punctured turbocharger pipe. Russell Brooks down to 6th in the Manta, trailing 5 of the 4-wheel drive cars. And another 4-wheel drive car was closing rapidly. Mark Lovell's turbocharger problem was sorted, and his times were now matching the leaders. The new partnership in the RS200 a lot happier. Also happy, Louise Aitken-Walker, heading for 5th overall, her best championship finish. The Group A battle taken up by Sebastian Lindholm in the Audi, and he would eventually lose out to Dave Metcalf, deserved Group A winner in the Astra.